Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I have made anything or posted anything on here, but Shop Hush was having a major sale. I have no idea what's going on with the company, but they were clearing out their app and their whole website and store. So they were doing 60% off everything. The whole site, lots of stuff that had already been discounted. So I had been eyeing some Bad Habit eyeshadow palettes for quite a while now, and I decided now was the time to pull the trigger because some of them were down to less than $2 a piece. So today is just an unboxing. All I've done is open the tape, and I've just been really excited to swatch these and get back into makeup a little bit. This is this style of video because I am moving and I've packed all my makeup. So at some point I might have to unpack it and find what I did with everything so that I can actually present myself on camera. But for right now, looking a hot mess. So this is what we're working with. Okay, so I ordered 9 palettes. Really 8 and a duplicate of one of them for a friend of mine because I wanted to share some of the fun. She's sort of she's my best friend, but she's also kind of my makeup friend. So I thought it would be fun for us both to have the same palette and try it out together. But let's just see what I've got in here. So first we have the Aftershock palette. I'll open all of these in a second, but we have Aftershock, After Party, and this is super cool packaging. It's kind of soft touch and very nicely done, very nicely put together. It feels great so far. Oh, my hands are already getting it dirty, but looks great. The After Hours palette. Like I said, I think all of these are from Bad Habit. Bad Habit was the brand on Shop Hush that I've heard the most good things about. Brands like Face Candy and Oakland, I've heard mixed reviews. So I thought if I was just buying to try things, that Bad Habit was the best way to make sure I enjoyed most of the items. This is the Supernova palette, the Artistry palette, and again, super nice packaging on all of them. Really classy with the gold, really pretty. Then we have the Athena palette, the Retro Love palette, and 2 Aphrodite palettes. This is the one I was going to give one to my friend, so I'm just going to set that one aside so I don't swatch it or anything, but this is the Aphrodite palette. Okay, let's start this swatch fest. So I'm going to start with the Aftershock palette. Oh my gosh, this looks so pretty. They all do. Aftershock, and it gives you all the names in order on the back. Oh, that's super pretty. Comes with the overlay. There they all are. Sorry. So we'll just swatch away. They're a little chalky, but they seem really pigmented. Oh my gosh, look at those. Wow, look at that, bright, what do they call that one? Surge. Yeah, that looks like a surge to me. Really pretty. Kind of crumbly, but very pigmented. I can't wait to see how these perform on the eyes. Okay, palette number 2, After Hours. I'm losing daylight, so I'm trying to readjust here with a lamp. The After Hours palette. By the way, Bad Habit's thing is kind of known for making dupes of other palettes. I think these are supposed to be dupes of Huda Beauty's palettes. I'll put the specifics of what each dupe palette is somewhere at the bottom of the screen so that you can see and you can compare, because I don't own any of the original palettes. So this is the After Hours palette. Looks like this. It's kind of a neutrally rose gold. Super pretty. Let's swatch these guys. Really nice pigmentation. Not surprised after seeing the Aftershock palette. By the way, that Aftershock palette, I don't know if you're able to see it, but the blue stained my arm a little bit right here. The darkest blue. But this is really pretty. This After Hours palette. I love these deep burgundy shades. There was the other one in the Aftershock palette, and there's this one here. This is called Cabaret, or Cabernet. It's called Cabernet. Some of the dustiness blows off, but it doesn't just disappear, so that's a good sign. The next palette is the After Party palette. Clearly there's a theme here, after whatever. I think this one is going to be cool tones. Let's see if I'm right. Yes. So if the last one was the rosy, pinky, warm tones, here are the cool tones. These two, Tipsy and Strobe Light, are like really foiled. Let's see if I... This Morning After is really pretty too. It's a good transition shade. Oh, blackout stained my thumb. It's so black. It is really deep. I don't mind it terribly, but... Or at least I didn't use makeup remover, but just wiping it on a paper towel. That's what it did. Let me try to get it off. Use some micellar water. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay. My fingers are dry. Wow, these are so pretty. Those feel really rich and they look super pigmented. This one, Tipsy, is flaking off a little bit, but now that it's gone, it looks really pretty. I think the rest of it will stick around. So beautiful. I can't wait to wear these. Just have to have some reason to do my makeup now. And again, blackout is leaving a little bit of a stain on my arm. That's after rubbing pretty intensely with micellar water. But I don't think that's a big deal. I'm not too worried by things like that. Then we have the Supernova palette. Looks just like the outer packaging. So pretty. So I'm going to swatch from this side to this side. And you see fingerprints in there. Maybe that's because I just did this, but I realized I swatched them on the wrong hand. So we're going to try it this way now. I love these colors so much. They're beautiful. I can't wait to see what Aurora looks like. Okay, these are still a little crumbly. I think they're basically, they feel like the same formula as the Aftershock palettes. This Spirit, this one here, is duochrome, and this Aurora looks like it has a little bit of duochrome in it as well. But again, all of these are so beautiful, and they're swatching so well. I know, you know, finger swatches aren't the best tell, but I mean, we have beautiful colors. They're not swatching really patchy. They're a little flaky, but they look like they're going to go on the eye so beautifully. Next, we have the Artistry palette. Maybe kind of hard to read on there because it's like a matte finish, and then the Artistry is shiny, but that is what it says. And then that's what the back looks like. Let's see what the actual palette looks like. Hopefully it's as pretty as the packaging. And it is. It's pretty much exactly the same as the packaging. And there's what it looks like. Oh, and the cover is up here. Wow, that's pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the mirror so you don't have to see the underside of my chin. And we'll get to swatching. Ooh, that was very flaky. Oh, that's not good. Siren is not great. Those did okay. Getting flakes everywhere. Then the last two. Very pretty. A very muted palette, but I think certainly like very usable, very everyday, nothing crazy. Would definitely work for a lot of people. Now the Athena palette. I'm excited about these bigger palettes. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, let's start swatching. These have all felt like they're basically the same formula. I think this palette may have a little bit of a difference in it, but I don't know, so far they all feel like they've been essentially the same, like just a bad habit formula. They weren't trying to replicate the company's formula. Like I said, these are all dupe palettes, but of course there's only so far a dupe can go, mostly just in color. They feel great though, like I've been saying, I think they'll work well. That's the first row. Then I'm gonna start the second row right here. And that's a duochrome, like purpley brownish, purpley pink, maybe more like an eyeshadow topper. It's pretty light, but pretty. And then a matte purple. I'm gonna start this one here. It's pretty a little bit brighter than this last one. Ooh, I like that. It was a little flaky. That may be like an eyeshadow topper like this one was, but I will try that again. Oh no, whoops, wrong one. Yeah, it's coming out as a light wash, but pretty. They just feel so nice. That's just pure glitter. This one's pure glitter. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Might need some glitter glue for that one. But then again, it may be in some glitter glue. I don't know. That will be interesting to see on the eye. And then that. Very pretty. Kind of reminds me of Modern Renaissance. I've never owned the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia, but it reminds me generally of the same like orangey reds. Although I think this is supposed to be a dupe for Natasha Denona's Lila palette, her purple one. The next palette is the Retro Love palette. I don't really like this packaging, but I guess it's retro. But it's the same like style and same nice feeling as all the rest. Ooh, these are hard to get open. Okay. Okay. Very pretty. I think in the palette that this is trying to dupe, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, I had to think about that for a second, these two colors look a lot more different in the pans, so that may be sort of an issue that you're basically getting two of the same color, but it's pretty. It's duochrome. Kind of rubs away pretty quickly, but I think you could probably build that up a little bit. That's pretty. Same sort of grungy color scheme as the Subculture palette. That one's a little patchy maybe. They're all still the same, like flaky sort of texture as the other palettes. That one's a little light. That rubs away pretty quickly. That was this one piece. But it's still there. That might still work as a transition shade. And then Flower Power is crumbling off from my finger. But I think you can build that one up too. Of course, I know these are going to be different on the eyes. Oh, and then this brown. Pretty. These two are a little patchy, kind of see-through, not as opaque as some of the other ones. See if this yellow is any different than that yellow. This purple is kind of patchy. It's a little bit weird. Flaky and patchy. This blue turned out okay. Pretty much what I expected from the pan. The yellows are a little bit more different on the skin than they looked in the pan. This one's a little brighter, this one's a little bit more orange. The metallics are great. I think that's sort of the thing. I don't know why, I don't know anything about like eyeshadow formulation, but it seems like metallics are easier to make than mattes. There's a lot more good metallics out there than there are mattes. And this is a mostly matte palette, so that may be a risk that I'm running with this one not being so great, but it looks decent. Nothing else flaking off. We'll just have to see. Hopefully eventually I can get this on my eyes, or at least not eventually, but sometime fairly soon. Here we go with the last palette, the Aphrodite palette. All of this packaging has been so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I love this like color scheme that they've done, the gold and black. It's beautiful. And here we go. So let's give this a go. Right off the bat, this gold is pretty flaky, but let's see. It looks like it'll do okay. It's very light. Oh, that was actually more payoff than I expected. That's pretty. A little bright pink. There's another deep red. You know I like those. And then here. Ooh, that kicked up a lot of flake in the pan. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I pressed too hard, but still, I didn't press that hard. That one's very light, this pink. That one might be buildable, but maybe not. There's another matte. Those look okay. Maybe not my favorite colors, but very neutral, very simple. Nice simple eye look there. Lots of those like crushed glittery shades. Oh, which one was this? This was this one. Okay. That one's got a lot of flakiness on it. That's pretty. This like green seems sort of out of place. Everything else is so pinky and light and lovely, and then there's like dark green. But I guess you need some contrast. And then the last three. Wow, that looks super black, that black one. That is my skin tone and went away to nothing, and then black. Ooh, wow, that's super dark. Very pigmented. So there it is. that was the Aphrodite palette. Okay guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to actually see you in the next video, and have a lovely day or night wherever you are, wherever you're watching. Bye.